Melania thought she could destroy Jasmine's career with one word. But Jasmine wasn't just any woman. She had a secret hand once it came out. It didn't just end the argument. It ended Melania. Narrator, deep, dramatic voice. In the marble corridors of DC power, where secrets are currency and reputation is everything. One confrontation shattered the silence. It wasn't between politicians. It wasn't even between men. It was between Melania Trump, former First Lady of the United States, and Jasmine Clarke, rising voice in international diplomacy. Let's rewind. Cut 2. Flashback footage. Jasmine Clarke, walking confidently in a UN building. Narrator. Jasmine Clarke, a 34-year-old human rights attorney from Atlanta, Georgia, had just been nominated as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Harvard graduate, Rhodes Scholar, war crimes investigator. A resume built like a fortress. But in Washington, resumes don't protect you. Power does. And Melania Trump. She didn't like the rise of any woman who threatened the old elite. Cut 2. Press conference. Melania speaking to reporters. MelaniaTrump.com. But I believe in diplomacy. But some people are simply unqualified. Experienced is not the same as popularity on social media. SFX. Camera flashes, gasp, sound effects. Narrator. The world froze. Everyone knew who she was talking about. Jasmine had just hit 1 million followers for her viral speech on child refugees. But now she was being labeled as unqualified by the wife of the most polarizing president in modern U.S. history. But Jasmine didn't clap back on Twitter. She didn't run to CNN. She did something far more dangerous. She opened the sealed file. Cut 2. Jasmine in her study, opening a thick manila envelope. Narrator. The envelope had sat at the bottom of a locked drawer for 5 years. Inside, it contained something the Trump family never wanted public. A document that could break reputations, end careers, and perhaps expose the real reason Melania feared Jasmine. Zoom in on the document labeled Trump Eastern Foundation Internal Memo Classified. Narrator. It was an internal memo from 2017, when Jasmine was just a junior advisor in a humanitarian NGO. She had uncovered troubling connections between the Trump Eastern Foundation and luxury contracts awarded to shell charities operating in war zones. At the time, she was silenced. But now, she was no longer a junior or anything. And this time, the world was watching. Cut 2. Live interviewed Jasmine on MSNBC. Jasmine Clarke, firmly. When Mrs. Trump says, "I'm unqualified," I wonder what she means. Is it because I exposed the misallocation of $4.2 million in refugee funds during her husband's term? Or is it because I chose justice over silence? Narrator, voice rising. Boom. A nuclear-level truth bomb had been dropped, and Melania's team scrambled. Montage. Melania's advisors rushing. Headlines spinning. Twitter exploding. Headlines flash. Jasmine versus Melania. The new DC Cold War UN nominee accuses Trump Foundation of humanitarian theft. Melania under fire for attempted character assassination. Narrator. 5 seconds. That's how long it took for Jasmine's rebuttal to hit the internet. And within 5 hours, the Department of Justice had reopened its inquiry into the Trump Foundation's dealings abroad. Melania hadn't just insulted a rival. She'd provoked a reckoning. Cut 2. Investigative journalist. Montage. Papers, files, voice recordings. Narrator. New whistleblowers began to speak. A former logistics officer in Eastern Europe claimed that the Trump Foundation had used children's hospitals as tax fronts. Another said Melania personally approved contracts to luxury contractors posing as field medical suppliers. Whether or not she knew the full extent, Jasmine had just forced the world to ask. Scene. White House Correspondents' Dinner. Jasmine is invited to speak. Jasmine Clarke confidently. I was told I was unqualified. But what do you call someone who builds while others deflect? Who exposes the truth while others bury it? If that's unqualified, then maybe it's time we redefine the word. Crowd erupts. Reporters stunned. Narrator: It wasn't just a clapback, it was a full-blown career crescendo. Jasmine didn't just survive Melania's attack, she rose from it. She reshaped the narrative. And she reminded the world that truth, when wielded with precision, is sharper than any insult. Final scene. Melania alone in a dim office, staring at the TV coverage. Narrator soft but haunting. She thought she could end Jasmine's career with one word. But Jasmine responded with a truth that couldn't be buried. And in doing so, she didn't just defend her name. She exposed a legacy of silence. Sometimes Ramet, the loudest voice in the room, isn't the one shouting, it's the one that finally speaks the truth.